What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Ron, man. I'm back with another video. This is Trigger Reactions. Hope you guys are doing great. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you're not sure, go check out some of my old videos. I'm sure you'll be back to join the family really, really soon. But look, guys, we're back with Candace Owens. This is my girl. Y'all know I support Candace. But today, this video, she talks about the Economist, which is a liberal magazine. Uh, and basically, they came out with an article about basically giving reasons why we should trans the kids. Like have the kids go trans. Anyways, let's see what Candace has to say about it, and we're gonna give our opinion as well. So let's get right into the video, guys.
The Economist, which is an incredibly left leaning rag, it just came out with something, and it shocks me because, again, they are a left leaning rag. It is an article entitled The Evidence to Support Medicalized Gender Transitions in Adolescents is Worryingly Weak. That should stun you right away because no person on the left is willing to admit that we are making a huge mistake when it comes to having adolescents transition. And this person, the writer of this article, actually does a deep dive. The article starts by talking about a girl named Prisha Mosley. She says Prisha Mosley was 17 when she was first given testosterone in a clinic in North Carolina after she had declared to her parents that she was a boy. She had struggled through her teen years with anorexia and depression after a sexual assault. Luca Hain had.
Well, first, let's be sensitive. Sexual assault. That's nothing to ignore. Regardless of her other illnesses with anorexia and just mental illness, uh, the sexual assault is something different that I think should be considered when we speak about this, especially for the young girl who's thinking about transitioning. Uh, she should definitely seek help and counseling to speak about that assault. I mean, sexual assault is no matter to just overlook or even speak about when it comes to this because we can't speak about it because it happened to the young lady, but that's a whole separate issue. We're just speaking here clearly about trans kids and kids transitioning when they're young, when they're children, which means they're not adults, which means they can't make those type of decisions, which I believe they shouldn't be able to without the parents' consent, which I still think if a parent consents to that, then they should be examined medically and mentally. But yeah, sexual assault is something different, man. I can't speak from personal experience, but whenever a child or an adult is sexually assaulted, whether they're male or female, it's something you shouldn't take lightly. You should really look into it and get that person the help they need because that can be a very traumatic experience, which hence could lead to other things. Trauma never fares well the longer you don't deal with it or heal from it. So definitely let's look into speaking more about that, and I think she should seek that type of counseling or help. But let's get back into the video.
Both breasts removed as a 16-year-old in Nebraska. Chloe Cole in California was a year younger when she had her double mastectomy. She had been on testosterone and puberty blocking drugs since 13, also after a sexual assault. Already such an important beginning to this article because I have said this before and I've said it many times thereafter, and I'm going to say it again. A lot of these individuals that are suffering with gender dysphoria, as I learned from Walt Heyer, who transitioned, actually went through with the bottom surgery and then regretted his decision, is that they have suffered a trauma in their youth and they are trying to rid themselves of their identity. Some people do this by becoming individuals on TLC's My 500 Pound Life. They eat so much that they become so unattractive that no man will ever rape them again if they were raped in their youth. Other individuals say, I'm going to completely change my gender, as was the circumstance with Walt Heyer, who was molested in his youth, and they are now giving you two.
And that's something to look into, like trauma and things that happen to us when we're kids. um I was watching a Charleston White video in the past, and he spoke about, because he worked with children, and a lot of the young males who were committing murders when they were really young, or just commit murders in general, uh they suffered sexual assault. They were molested, like a high percentage of them, like 80. I don't know the actual number, I have to look into it, but most of them, like an alarming high number, like in the 80 percentile, they were sexually assaulted, they were molested or sexually assaulted. That has a lot to speak about that, man. So I understand the wanting to uh get rid of your identity, and or like she said, some people eat, some people drink. Trauma affects people differently. We're just speaking about this whole trans situation with kids, but trauma always and has always uh, had a negative effect on how people think, feel, and just their actions. It's a sickness. Trauma is a disease, I believe. My personal own opinion. Uh, but with the right help and counseling, and of course, I believe, because of my faith, there's nothing Jesus can't do. But you definitely need help. Um, but as far as I would say, just get the young lady, some help. And even the statistics Candace was just speaking about, a lot of people who transition and actually, got puberty blockers, or even got testosterone, things of that nature, to suppress their natural estrogen, or their natural puberty, which naturally happens. Then later on down the line, they regretted it, because that's not the answer to the rooted problem here, which no one wants to talk about. We're not trying to tell people what to do with their kids. We're saying that this solution that they're coming up with is absurd. You wouldn't tell someone who's suffering or having issues or trauma related problems to drink. It's people who suffer from abandonment issues, me including myself, my own issues I had to heal from, and things that I'm still healing from. Alcohol was a problem for me, but my point is, you don't take these types of measures to deal with these type of identity problems, trauma problems, or mental illnesses. You don't give people negative solutions, or solutions that really don't help. You know what I mean? Would you put a band-aid on a open wound, a scar? No, you would clean the wound, stitch it, and then allow it to heal. So it's just different methods that people are using to so-called solve their issues, or their identity crisis. Or no, man, that's not the way. That's not the way. And you guys already know the way when you follow me. Jesus Christ, our Lord, is the way. But let's finish the video and see what Candace has to say further.
Two examples of individuals who were young and declare that they were transgendered after sexual assault. Again, a much more serious discussion that we should be having, but instead, they are further harming these children by convincing them that they can, in fact, completely rinse themselves of their biological gender assignments. Now, the article goes on to talk about how there's just been an explosion of this, which obviously defies common sense. It allows you to know that this is, of course, a social contagion, because the way that the chart is exploding it defies reality. It can't happen in this way. It says in England and Wales, the number of teenagers seeking treatment at the Gender Identity Development Service, the main clinic that treats dysphoria, has risen 17-fold since 2011 and 2012. An analysis by Reuters, a news agency, based on data, estimated that more than 42,000 American children and teenagers were diagnosed in 2021, 3 times the count in 2017. Other rich countries, from Australia to Sweden, have also experienced rapid increases. So, again, as I said, it makes entirely no sense other than to say that it's become culturally a phenomenon. People are like thinking of this as if they're smoking cigarettes in high school. I can experiment with my gender. I can't just, don't have to just do drugs. I can also experiment with my gender. We used to have kids that used to wear all black, right? The super emo kids, maybe change their hair color. It could be green, it
Yeah,
could be yellow. Well, now you have kids that are like,
facts. As kids, we grew up. If we had issues and trauma, we were probably just socially awkward, or well, for me, because I was an athlete, I just my thing was to get everyone to like me. So I would be nice and do things and be like just do things that I shouldn't have done to get people to like me. Now kids could not only change their clothes, their wardrobe, go get a tattoo, do drugs, they can change their gender. Well, they believe they can, because because you get a surgery, it doesn't change your biological makeup, your DNA. It doesn't change. It's just like it's just like putting on a dress. You're still a man. It's just like, come on, man. Come on, man. A cat is a cat, no matter if you put it in a donkey's outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. So, but this is what these kids are being access to. And I pray, I have daughters and a son. And my daughter, she's 10. And me and my wife, we lead our house. We're Christians, and we have our tradition and our way, right? But our children go to school with other kids. Obviously, they're not homeschooled, and we don't want them to be homeschooled, because they have to go into the world and be around different people. But I mean, they still get a great education, but they're around other kids that are just like uh, don't have they're not in a home that has the same values as us. So we let them know, like, hey, uh, this is what you gonna do. Nah, 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 nah. But we're aware of it, man, and you just have to pray and just be the example for your kids, and have an open. Like, my daughter's 10, so she scares me every day, but she is getting to a point where the lines of communication have to be wide open, because usually they just do what I say. They know what to do. I mean, they can come to me about things, but usually it's about teaching them and guiding them at the earlier stages, so that when they do become older, they make their own decisions, but they'll have the foundations of what mom and dad set for them. Uh, but nah, man, she's 10, so I can't. She thinks for herself. She's brilliant. So we just have to uh, just be better parents, man. That's it. That's all I can say about that. But I totally disagree with giving children puberty blockers. I feel like if a child comes to you about their identity, or they feel like they're this or that, you should dive into that conversation deeply, get the help they need, because at the end of the day, this is what I believe kills all those conversations about children believing that they are boys or girls, or they want to transition. This is how we stomp that. You dive deep into your child's psyche. How do you do that, Ron? You ask them questions. You continue to ask questions, and deeper questions, questions they don't have the answer to, but you do. And when you do that, but you learn that this child really doesn't know what they want, what they want. A lot of it is of what they're seeing and hearing, and things have been planted, so they think that this is the way or the solution, but it's not. It's not. So you got to do the work with your children. Your child has been sexually assaulted. You should know that. And if you do know that, you should examine that and get that child the help they need. Talk to your children. Be a parent. But it's apparent no one's being parents. That's what I'm gonna end this video on, guys. If you like this video, you already do, man. Hit that thumbs up button down below, man. Comment down below. How do you feel about this video? What I just said. Let's talk about it. We do not hate in the comments. That's not what we do here. But we can talk about it. So let's talk about it. Let's discuss it like adults. I love you guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. Go support Candace Owens. You guys know I rock with her, man. I love what she does. So go support her if you haven't already. And also support this channel if you haven't already. I do have a new members channel I'm working on and building. I'm going to create different content over there, live. Everything's going to be over there. So if you're interested in the members, go ahead and sign up. I'm going to get more things and more details out to you guys about it. I don't know, man. I think we're going to either, I don't know. We'll talk more about that as far as the member side of it and those exclusive videos over there. They're definitely going to be different than these. They're going to be more in detailed. I want to do some lives so you guys could kind of go back and forth with me. So yeah, give me some ideas, guys. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. This your boy Ron. This Trigger Reactions. Peace.